Okay.
Yeah.
We have a new nurse. Hey! One of our favorites, Edwin Brody. I call him Brody. Okay, now, so tell them what happened. Where did you graduate? When did you go to school? What did you do in school? How was school? Did you think you were gonna fail? What happened?
So I went to Tri-C.
That's a good school. That's a good school.
It's a good school. I had about 70% of the teachers were good, and then 30% they were just there, and they just anytime I had a question they'd say, "Go read the book." And I thought that they were really smart, and they were just like, "Oh, they want me to go get the information because it'd be useless to spoon feed it to me. So if I get it on my own, it would retain it better." But I think maybe they didn't know.
They just didn't know the shit.
So, but I always assumed the better. So.
Because you're.
I try to look at I was always optimistic.
He's an optimist.
But after I graduated, I remember listening to like a Mark K review, and I was like, I didn't learn anything about like gaits or orthopedic type stuff. A little bit of cancer, but not as much as like I saw in one of your videos. But I was like not confident that I was ever gonna pass it because I'm gonna get blindsided, and the second I get blindsided, my brain's gonna go blank. And if I get a question that I've never even heard of, my brain's gonna be like, oh, this is unfair. I didn't learn this at Tri-C, so I'm done with this. I'm done with this exam. I quit at this question because that's like that. And I've been like that before because I'm like I try to learn everything I can before I take an exam.
Yes.
Like I almost did all the UWORLD questions because I'm like I gotta hit all of them.
Say it again. Say it again for the which is in the back.
All the UWORLD questions, all of them, and read the rationales, and I would write them down even if I wouldn't reread them. Every single one, I'd just rewrite it if I messed it up again because that's how I knew I really didn't know it.
Yeah.
But then I'd really remember it like the third or fourth time around because I'm like because I would remember how I didn't remember it the first two times. I go, oh, that's that one I didn't remember, and I wrote down. Like, I graduated in May 2023.
Okay.
So it's been a while. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, compared to everyone else.
Slap them, y'all.
Oh, okay, sorry. So
it ain't been a while.
Everyone else in my class passed. And I was in a group chat, and so everyone's like congratulating each other, and I'm like, yay! I'm like, yay! And then no one actually asked, but then people, I wasn't talking enough, and they knew I was a talker. So like, I get like messages every now and then, like, hey, so we're gonna get a group together, celebrate our like nursing licenses and stuff. Like, what day works for you? And I was like. I like took a minute. I was like, what do I do? So I was like, I'll just be honest. I was like, I didn't take it yet, but I'm going to soon. And then that person never hit me back up. So I was like,
that's not nice.
I was like, maybe they just got busy. I don't know.
Or maybe they were worried that you were embarrassed, and they looked it up and saw you didn't.
Yeah, I don't know if people
can look. People look. Hey, let me tell you something.
Stalk.
People know your business before you do. People in this class have told other people, "Oh, you passed," and they didn't know.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's real bad. People are nosy.
And the funny thing was, is that like one of the last sections I was learning was diabetes, and you have like a video on there about like deceit and taking the test beforehand. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I feel really bad for setting this up. But I felt really confident to take it too.
That's not what I mean. If you come in here and you fail and you never said you did it.
Oh, see, I thought you said that you just take the exam behind your back.
No, when you come in and you failed that test that you took behind my back and you just sit in class like nothing else happened.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that.
Because I already know that you did it. So it's like really comical to me because it's like, yeah, okay, we gonna just let that slide. Yeah, we gonna let it slide. Because it's human. You're human. At some point, we got to forgive you because you're human. Right?
Okay, yeah. So
yeah,
maybe I
no,
that.
You take that motherfucker behind my back and pass. We're going to do what we're doing now. Put that shit out there. Yeah.
So yeah, I felt really confident.
This time, what time was your test?
My test was Wednesday, this past Wednesday.
What time?
It was at 11:30.
So it was a good time for you.
Yeah.
You didn't get up too early.
No, I didn't get up too early.
When you took the test, how long were you there?
I hope this isn't bad. It took me like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, "Oh, you're on break." He's like, "Do you need to go on break?" I'm like, "I'm done." And she was like, "You're done?" And then the guy who like registered me, and he's like, "He's like, if you take that, don't unseal that thing because your phone's in there." I was like, "No, I'm gonna give it to you because I'm done." He's like, "You're done?" I was like,
They're all looking like, "You're done?"
He's like, "Are you sure?" I felt weird leaving. I was like, I messed up. I was like, I kept hearing your voice like, feel the, because I didn't take the full like it took me maybe like 30 seconds a question, or maybe 20 seconds a question.
Oh my
So I was like, you know, when
I'm
you
not
said
mad.
like take, you know, you're like you take the full 3 minutes a question, or I don't know what the, or how
Not
long,
3 minutes.
or
It's just 30 minutes. You're done with 30 questions if you pace yourself. But you were in my class, you were getting high scores, you were definitely going through every lecture, sometimes twice.
yeah.
I mean, you put in the work, so if you thought it was easy and you just got done, that is what it is. You're a nurse, I don't care. Long as you're a nurse, now you come up here looking crazy and fail, we gonna have a problem.
Right.
If you did 50 minutes, we gonna have a real problem. We get one of them belts off the wall.
And we're sure, like, I mean, that means like I did pass it, like that
I
message.
swear to God,
Okay.
baby. I swear to God, you're still doubting yourself.
I just, because it doesn't feel real.
Well, what happened with the last test? Did you know you failed?
I never took it.
Oh, you just never took it.
When I came in here, I was like, as soon as I listened to that Mark K video, I was like,
I don't know
if I
shit.
take this test, I just knew I was gonna fail it, because if there was gonna be sections I just didn't know. I didn't know meds. I knew like the basic meds. I knew furosemide, but like you said, like they gave me bumetanide.
Bumetanide.
So I'm like, okay, there's bumetanide. They gave me cardamola. That was the Parkinson's disease.
Carvedilol.
There was that one too, but it was like
Levodopa. Carbidopa. Cinnamon. Yeah.
And so that one, so a lot of the ones you went over were on there.
Of course.
And I was like,
But
man, I was like, I didn't know that one. I knew furosemide, but I didn't really know bumet. And I'm glad we went over that. And then I hit. Am I allowed to say
Don't
what?
tell
Oh,
this.
oh shit.
No, you need to stop.
Right.
But let me ask you this. So you didn't take the first test. Everybody thought you did. You felt bad.
Yeah.
You were scared.
Yeah.
So you waited.
Yeah.
How did you hear about us?
Well, my one friend Jazz.
Yes.
You know Jazz?
Of course I know
So I
Jazz.
never saw your videos at all before I took this, so I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
You didn't know I'd cuss you out.
Hell
no,
no.
you had no idea.
I came in, I was like, oh, she's gonna be like, very like heavenly.
No,
not
no.
like very
No,
like
not at
sticky
all.
around.
You cuss the fuck out.
I come in here and you're like, and I saw you the first day and I was like, oh cool, it's like she seems really cool. And then like you come in the first day and the people were banging into that back door and you're like, no
What the
motherfuckers are
fuck?
gonna be sitting on that side of the table. And I was like, oh shit, what am I?
Who did you pay? Who did you just
I
pay?
was like, dude, I'm not sitting over there. I said as far as I went as I could. I was like, I'm never going over that side of the counter.
Yeah, no.
But yeah.
But it works, huh?
It works, yeah. The videos, everything came up. It wasn't I was like, sometimes my brain's like, it's got to be word for word. It wasn't always word for word, but like the content was up. But the content was there.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I really feel like I know this, but at the same time, I'm like, am I just
Is
getting?
it too easy?
I'm always down to 2 options every single
everybody
question.
is, yeah.
And I'm like, what if my luck? I'm picking the second best one every single time. I was like, but I feel like I know it's this one because I know how to answer priority first. Like those little where if you read the question too fast and you forget, and it's like it didn't say first, it meant was the most important one, but that like knowing the difference.
Okay, reading.
And
Actually
reading, that's
yeah.
what the UWORLD came in really handy, because if I didn't do UWORLD and I just jumped in,
I agree. UWORLD
I'd
helps
have
you
been,
read it.
I'd have been messed up because I wouldn't have known, like with patients, like which one was the most important to see.
So you got some new people here that have not really endured my class yet. What would you tell them that maybe when you started you kind of blew off and then you figured out, oh shit, this is it?
I never blew anything off. I just I tried going ahead too far.
Okay.
And like I did ethics and legal that one time, and
Yeah,
then I went off into the woods, and
You
you're like,
went
what
into
the?
the woods.
You're
What
like,
the
what are you
fuck
doing?
are you doing?
I'm like, I thought I was doing more, and you're like, you ain't doing what you were supposed to be doing. I was like, no, I guess not. It's $50.
Let me tell you what he did.
So
I gotta tell you what he did. He was in Spaceland. Now he's easily distracted, so my baby just need to stay the course. He come in here and you guys were doing, I think, peds or something or whatever. He's all in the ethical legal.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? You're supposed to stay focused on your mastery.
Yeah.
And he ended up paying $35 that day because he didn't
something
have
like
not
that.
one thing in his phone in his mastery. Just went off on tangents. Do you guys even master ethical legal? Think it through.
Yeah.
No.
That was my problem.
This is what he did.
Because I saw it, I was like, oh, she's never mentioned that. Maybe she forgot. I'm like thinking, maybe she forgot, and like it's really important. I didn't get any ethics and legal questions.
No, you didn't.
I didn't get any ethics and legal
that
questions.
After you did all that shit and wasted a week. He wasted a week. But
And paid
obviously didn't.
$35.
Yeah, $35. Okay, 30. I think he was mad about the 35.
I know, I'm in debt.
Right.
I was like, Mom, I was like, I can't keep going to this class. I was like, I'm gonna need to get a new credit card.
Now,
Yeah.
so tell them what not to do then. Just stay the course.
Really just stay the course. I mean, I wouldn't do, if you did what I did, I went overboard, I would be at my computer like all day if I wasn't at work. Like what
okay.
you said, like, you know, if you were working a lot, like you needed to cut back on working. But sometimes my boss would just be like, hey, like I really need you, like we're short staffed. But even at work, I'm like, here's the deal, like if I'm here, I'm at least gonna be like reading stuff on the manager's computer for like whatever subject I was mastering.
Yeah.
To like be able to learn, because I just work front desk, so it's like it's downtime and then it's busy, downtime and then it's busy.
Did you think the videos helped?
Your videos with all the content helped a lot. I watched your videos like I told you, like she told you, you're like, oh, it's kind of Cardi B anymore, it's Shelly B. I'm like, yeah. So I'm walking around playing Pokemon Go, listening to you like in the background. I was like, okay. I was like, we're doing GI. That's how I knew that, because I listened to your.
Yes,
I kept
you
going
were
through
the
it.
only one. He won money Friday. Was it Tuesday?
Tuesday.
You won money this day,
Oh,
and out of all these students, you were the only one that got it
I was
right.
like, it's calcium or vitamin C. I know I wrote C really big.
No calcium.
And I was like, it's got to be calcium, because
Yeah.
I feel like vitamin D was the only one that I put Vit D on, and then the other one was just calcium.
Well, and what did you get for this?
I got my money back.
$50. So
So
we
you got
got
a
your
little
money.
added bonus.
You
yeah,
got your
I was
money
really
back.
happy about that.
Most people get their money back in my class.
So.
All right, so good for you. So what would you say you're gonna do? What is your dream? Where are you gonna work? What do you want to do?
So this kid has been asking me to like shadow him at the burn unit, and I've been really trying to get critical care. So he's like, he works at Metro, and he's like, yeah, he's like, just come down. He's like, I get you a job right away.
How much did you get?
85.
And out, y'all. That's some big shit. Yay! I love it. Any questions for Brody, you guys? Think of some.
You feel confident in every answer that you gave? As soon as you gave
I was always between two, so I was like, I always kept telling myself I picked the second best option. And I kept going. I was like, I just kept telling.
Talking yourself out of success.
Because I like being, I don't want to be pleasant. I like being pleasantly surprised if I pass rather than destroyed if I.
Were you shocked it shut off at 85?
Yeah, when it shut off, I was like, oh shoot. I was like, I wasn't ready. I wanted at least 130.
Let me prove myself a
put in
little
a bigger
longer.
I raised my hand. I was like, can I get more?
Oh, wow.
So towards the end, did you start seeing like a lot of select all that apply, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what I
yes,
wanna
I
know.
was. I was getting a lot of select all that apply at the end, and I was like, I always knew 3 or 2 that I was confident on.
Well, now
but
you
I was
get
like,
partial credit.
But in my head, I was like, there's probably 3 in this one, because if I definitely know 2, they probably. But that's just me thinking, like, but sometimes there probably is only 2 right answers.
That's what I'm saying. So that was like an indicator that you did.
But I never over-selected, because doing UWORLD, I was like, man, every time I over-selected, then that
get
point
a
was getting
lower
taken
grade.
away from me. So I
Yeah.
did, instead of getting my
All the
2 out of 3, I got like 1 out of 3 because or 2.
Over-selected.
Yeah, I over-selected,
Yeah.
or 2 out of 4.
Tell them what your scores were in my class.
In the beginning.
No.
Oh.
Well, yes, that helps.
So at
Your
the
first
beginning,
score.
I think it was like a 44.
44%.
When did you
And-
start?
I started like the last week of August.
Yeah, he ain't been here long. And then tell them what your scores were the week you left. Like the day before even.
I was getting 80, 83s.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
like, but I mean,
First time test, you only needed 80.
and but like the ones I got wrong when I did the review, I was like, man, I knew that, but I was just going really quick. That would be my problem. If I slowed down, I probably would have done even way better. But I always felt the need. I was like, I gotta get this shit done. Gotta get it done.
But tell them that how
Oh, yeah, thank you.
anxious you are.
Yeah,
and
tell
how,
them your anxiety. That's gonna help
how
somebody.
you stood.
It's gonna help somebody. Because
Yeah,
you're not the
uh,
only one with the whole AD thing.
Who was the one who sat there that kept telling me to
Kenyatta,
stop?
and she
Kenyatta.
said congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, she scared the shit out of me because she was like,
Military.
can you please stop? I was like, what? Because I have like a restless leg. Not
His
anymore.
leg was-
She scared the shit out of you.
She's scared. Yeah, I was like,
Air
because I had to
Force?
be mindful of it, because every time my leg wanted to start going, I was like, don't. Because like, if she I should be like,
Don't.
She's
Did
like,
you
I
use
just-
anything to calm down during the test?
oh yeah, I copied off what I think she did the propranolol.
Propranolol?
Yeah.
See? Propranolol for test anxiety. Okay.
I took that propranolol and I'm like, I didn't like, it's a weird feeling. I just didn't feel like I was in like fight or flight mode like I normally was.
Okay.
I was just sitting there, I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't care if I failed or passed at that time. after it weared off.
I don't want you to feel like that.
It was weird, but I was like, you know what? It's whatever.
That's a great drug for you.
Yeah, because you're just too spastic.
And what you want to know?
How far in advance did you schedule your test?
It was probably 3 or 4 weeks.
Because
We-
not a lot of test dates.
Yeah.
No.
People want to be a nurse before 2024. That's probably why.
Yeah, it was like 3 or
Like you
it
go
was
into
at
the
least
year
3
test.
weeks before, because I remember I was like, if I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna go through everything, even cardio, because there was
Okay.
I had some cardio questions, yeah. And I wasn't on the cardio section yet, but I'm
I
probably
think I
gonna
told you Tuesday you look at cardio.
maybe that's why I did
Yeah,
it.
I
But
told you to
for
do
some reason,
cardio.
I was like, I better look at cardio. I did
You gave
maternity.
me all your procedures and they were done.
Yeah, I did procedures, and then I went through procedures like a lot.
Yeah, 'cause it's a number
There
one
was
area
a
of
lot
failure.
of procedure questions.
Good.
They
good.
were like sometimes it's like I didn't have any of those like
case studies you had.
you know like
too.
put you know how you have like
Bow ties?
the order of what meter
Bow
dose inhaler. I didn't
Oh,
have it.
drag and drop.
I didn't have that, and I didn't have any bow ties.
What about case studies?
Oh, I had.
Did you have a lot?
I just had 3 case studies.
Oh, see, wow, you were in
3
it.
case studies.
Because
That
that's
was it.
minimum.
Yeah.
3 is minimum.
I was like, I wish I had more because I love these. These are so easy. 'Cause
Everybody
you
loves them.
You just use your
Easier
critical.
than-
Note to the world,
Yeah.
stop studying case studies. They are not the hardest part of the test. Procedures.
Yeah, procedures
infection,
was
Any math?
basic care.
not
No,
one
they don't
single
take
math question.
Hardly anybody's gotten any
And I
math.
felt bad because this one girl asked for a calculator. I was like, "You taking the nursing thing?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You don't
You don't
need
need
it."
it. You told her.
She still asked for the calculator. I was like, "Yeah, trust me." I was like, "Trust me, I'm nervous too, but you don't need that calculator."
Put 0. Don't do the
Skip that
math.
shit.
Put 0. What do you got, baby?
So what's your best advice for like select all that apply?
My best advice that I took was I stuck with the ones I knew, and I didn't select the ones that I thought I knew, because every time I did it on UWorld, I always picked. It was always wrong because it was the opposite. It was like it sounded right, but it was like the opposite. It was like, oh, it would have been hypocalcemia, not hypercalcemia. I'm like, man, I was
So
like,
if you really know it, select it. Otherwise, maybe stay
because you
away
get
from
the
it.
partial credit.
I
So
kind of tell you, if you've never heard me say it in class and you've never heard me say it on a video, stay the fuck away from it.
I like the select all questions. When I got them, I was like, man, I actually like these better than the A, B, C, D, where you because you're always, if you're done between 2 and you know both of them are right, but one's gonna come a little bit before the other. Sometimes you're like, yeah, but you can easily talk yourself in. Well, yeah, but airway. But then it's not airway. And like if I again, I learned ABCs was like the standard
And
where I was at.
Came here and learned.
And it worked at
it's
Tri-C, but it would not work here at all. Even on
Would not
UWorld,
work.
it was like
It
person's
doesn't
having
work.
a DVT.
ABCs do not work.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes it was like the answer was something to do with a DVT, and I was like, well, that was circulation.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
why I wanted, but the person, it
Short
sounded
of
like an
breath.
airway. Yeah,
Your
COPD. It was a
CHF, they're
COPD
always-
thing.
They're always short of breath.
And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. I was like, well, I thought it would have been that, but
Yeah,
no.
airway doesn't work. ABC doesn't work on this test. Yeah.
No.
Yep. Good job, baby.
Thank you.
Yay!